Hi, I'm Luke from Helix.ml, and today I'm going to show you Helix 1.0, and I'm going to demo that by showing you Helix Apps. So Helix is the easiest way to run open source models locally and get all the benefits of OpenAI without sending your data anywhere. So without further ado, I'm going to build some apps. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to create a couple. The first one I'm going to create, I'm going to call Marvin Paranoid Android. And I'm going to call it Marvin the Paranoid Android 2 because I've already made another one. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up this app. I'm going to tell Marvin to behave like Marvin the Paranoid Android from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And then I'm also going to pop in, let's see, around here somewhere I've got an avatar for Marvin. There we go, and I've got an image. So, I've made Marvin. I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to talk to Marvin. I'm going to say, how are you doing? Marvin is very negative, and Marvin is based on Llama 3. Marvin can run entirely locally, and that's great. So one problem with Marvin right now is that he doesn't have access to any up-to-date information. So let's solve that by connecting Marvin to some knowledge. So we can add a knowledge source. And I'm going to use today's news. I'm going to use this developing news story from The Guardian. And I'm going to say we're going to scrape that every hour. Then we're going to hit save. And what's going to happen then is that Helix is going to go and scrape that URL and chunk it up and put the chunks into a vector database. And then Marvin is going to be able to access that knowledge that's being continuously updated. So now we can ask Marvin what's happening in the news today. And Marvin knows. And Marvin is able to reference the news article, which comes back here. So we've got the latest information, and we can say things like, what did the RT editor-in-chief say? And we'll sarcastically get a response about this up-to-date knowledge. So that's pretty cool. We can make a bot, personalize the bot, give it access to up-to-date knowledge. But let's make another bot. So I'm going to make another one. I'm going to make a new app. I'm going to call this one Crypt Bro. And I'm going to say, talks about decentralization a lot. Act like a crypto bro. Continuously talk about how important decentralization is when the technology doesn't really work. And let's find an image of a crypto bro. That's a good background image. Let's put that in the background. And then use a Bitcoin icon for the avatar. Then we can hit save. And then we can say, hey man, cool. So we can say, what's the price of Bitcoin right now? It doesn't know. What is the price of Bitcoin? Okay. What is the price of ETH? 230. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's wrong. So let's integrate the Crypto Bro bot with an API. So we're going to add an API tool. We're going to go and connect to the CoinDesk API. So we're just going to copy paste the CoinDesk Open API schema. And then we need the URL of the API as well. There it is. And I'm going to say Bitcoin API, get the price of Bitcoin and other cryptos here. And then we're going to hit save. And then we can ask Crypto Bro again, what's the price of Bitcoin? And it works. The price of Bitcoin is apparently 57K. Yeah, that's right. To within the nearest dollar. $2. Awesome. So that's how you can build Helix apps. You can customize them. You can plug in knowledge. You can integrate them with APIs. You can give them instructions and make them behave differently. And you can also integrate them with GPT scripts. You can expose the Crypto Bro via an API. This configuration is also all internally recorded as version controlled YAML, which is super powerful because it means you can now treat your application a bit like a Kubernetes manifest. And any prompts that go into it, you can version control those and manage them like you would the source code for your software project. Actually, it's something pretty unique with Helix that you can access these bots that have been given knowledge, system prompts, and so on via an OpenAI compatible API. So let me just show you that. So we're going to ask it, how big was the Roman Empire and what is the price of Bitcoin in sterling? And it tells us. And it knows the answer. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to show you next is, okay, so everything I've done so far is using the Helix SaaS service, which we run and operate so that people can play with our software and test it out. But like it says here, you can also deploy Helix easily on your own cloud, container, or Kubernetes infrastructure. Join our Discord if you want help with this. The link's right there. But let's try it out. Let's install Helix on my Mac. So what I've got on my Mac is I've got Ollama and I've got Docker. And those are the only two things I need in order to run Helix. So we've made installing Helix insanely easy. So I'm going to start by downloading the installer. And I'm going to install it alongside Ollama on my Mac. That has set up a Docker Compose file in this Helix.ml directory. And it's set up an N file for me with the configuration. You shouldn't need to change any of this. The important thing here is that we're pointing at an OpenAI compatible API running on my machine, which is the internal Docker host, which is the Ollama server that's running there. That's what this OpenAI base URL parameter on the installer did. Don't need to know what that does. All you need to know is that that connects Helix to Ollama running on your Mac. And then we just do docker compose up-d. Okay. So that should come up. Okay, so that's up and running. Like it said here, the Helix will be available on this host. So now we have Helix running entirely locally on my Mac. So if we log in here and register for a new user, so this is a brand new install. And then we can go and say, hi. There we go. Okay, so that's doing inference directly on my Mac with Ollama on my Mac. And you can see it's automatically detected the models that I've pulled into my local Ollama instance. So you can basically use Helix as a client of any OpenAI compatible API. And then you can do all the same things I showed you, like creating a new app. We can copy the one over from before and set it up there. I can show you something cool though, which is that you can also use these version controlled YAML files. So if I grab this, I can configure my CLI. Didn't really need to re-download the CLI. I just needed to set these environment variables, and I can do Helix Helix app list, and we can see we haven't got any apps yet. But what we can do, and I've never tested this before, so I hope it works. We can go and grab Crypt Bro, grab the configuration for Crypt Bro, put it in a helix.yaml file, and then we can do helix apply -f helix.yaml. That's made a new app. Let's go to our local version, look at our apps. Oh, Crypt Bro has popped up in there. Let's say, hey bro. Now remember, this is all running locally against my Ollama instance. So it's loading Ollama, and it's loading Llama 3 into memory. So what is the price of Bitcoin? Hooray! It worked. Okay, excellent. So if you're interested to see what's actually going on under the hood here, then we can go into the dashboard. We can look at the LLM calls, and we can look at the exact interactions that led from the user saying what is the price of Bitcoin in the UI to the internal prompting that happens inside the system to classify whether that request needed an API call or not, that it did. So we then prepared the API call, which then got the response back from the API, which included the Bitcoin price, and then tells it to present the response back to the user in a non-technical way, responds to the user with that up-to-date knowledge. So that's pretty cool. That's how Helix works on the inside. It's how you can deploy it to your own infrastructure. You can also deploy it on Windows or Linux with a GPU. And there's a little bit of extra information on how you do that. And you also have to put a Hugging Face token in there if you want to support text fine-tuning, which is one of the things that we launched with back in December. We can also see, this also works on Windows with an NVIDIA GPU, which is pretty cool. I was testing that the other day. You can also point Helix at an external LLM provider, so a VLLM or Together AI. We quite like Together AI because they support all the same models that you can run locally in Ollama. Finally, you can also set up an internal instance of Helix at your company, give it a host name, and we'll also automatically set up TLS for you. So all you need is a machine with a few gigs of RAM to act as the control plane, get it running. Come and try Helix. Join our Discord if you're interested. You can see the Discord link at the bottom of our homepage here. Come let us know what you think. And thank you for watching. Cheers. Bye.
It's going to be a